Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to make two cards inspired by fried green tomatoes, and these are the supplies I'm using for the first card. I love the movie Fried Green Tomatoes. It's definitely like in my top 10. It's just so fantastic. So I really wanted to include it in this series. If you didn't know, I'm doing just a series. I don't know how long it'll be. I'm not a planner like that. If you've been with me for very long, you already know that. But I want to do cards inspired by film, music, and art. So here I am playing with a couple of embossing folders, and I just didn't have a plan. I just cut it up. The first one, it was a 4¼ by 5½ sheet of paper that I had embossed, and I just randomly cut it into rectangles. And then I had embossed that new folder from Tim Holtz, which I love that he's scaling stuff down into these tiny embossing folders. So awesome. I want embossing folders of every possible size. It's one of my favorite things about card making. Okay, Tawanda. Of course I have to have a Tawanda card. So I am playing around, and this one, I thought those Maggie Holmes flowers were absolutely perfect. I have forever and adored Jessica Tandy's character, her room with all of the cutout flowers all over the walls. Like, that would be me in my house if my family would go along with it. I could totally live like that. So I definitely wanted that as my inspiration for this card. And as you can tell, I used my gold watercolor on those letters because I wanted them to be special. It's a special saying, I would say. And now I brought in some Distress Oxides to ink blend these up. This embossing folder came with my Gemini Junior. I adore that die cutting machine. I really do. It's so fantastic. I love just sending my dies through and not cranking anymore. I am going to save up for the big one. I might as well have them in two sizes, right? One day. I mean, that's so like future down the road. Anyways, so I am just ink blending some color onto these die cuts. And with this one, this beautiful rose, this is the small one from Tim Holtz. It's new. I did the pink, I think it was Victorian Velvet, and then this is Milled Lavender, the two colors I chose for this card today. And now I'm going in with some vintage photo as well. I just want this to really have kind of a worn look, and it really deepens everything and just makes it so nice. So those were supposed to look like wallpaper essentially. And then this is just part of all the flower images that she put all around. So I did use different colors of ink to finish off that embossing folder. Now I'm cleaning up my mat before I bring it in my card base. Very important if you're working on a glass mat. If you're working on paper, it's different because typically your ink is going to absorb into the paper substrate on your desk and not transfer to your card base. But if you're working on glass, you'll want to clean it. All right, so I'm just playing around here with my arrangement of things. And it was hard covering up this embossing folder at all. I just love it so much, but I did cover it. So that circle frame that I have in my right hand is from Maggie Holmes. It's from a couple of collections ago, but I just loved it. I think you could make something very similar. So basically, it's two pieces of a heavyweight cardstock, chipboard really is what it is, with trim between. We might have to explore that. Let's put a pin in it. Let's explore that on my channel. I think that would be lots of fun. So now I'm bringing in some of these flowers, and they just really remind me of what she might have cut out and put on the wall. When I was making this card, I was totally like wanting to watch the movie, but it was nowhere to be found. I mean, we have it on DVD, but I don't have that kind of capability in my craft room. So I was wanting to find it streaming somewhere, but it was nowhere to be found. So I just watched a few clips of some of my favorite moments on YouTube, of course. And I just love that movie. Like, the more clips I watch, it's like, oh, I'm just going to have to sit down and watch this movie again. But, like, face it, girls, I'm older. I have more insurance. Like, yes. The casting of that film was absolutely perfect. I mean, they totally nailed it. Every character is just so perfect. So perfect. So now I am bringing in these teeny tiny strips from scrapbook.com. I know you guys have seen me use these quite a few times. And I am going to pop up my letters here. And I'm going to put Tawanda in that center area there. And I just glued that circle frame down. It's so dimensional. It needed no extra dimension at all. But these letters need some to be able to hang out inside of that circle. So there I was just lining everything up, and now I will glue it all down. I like the randomness that you can see through the circle from the different layers and the die cuts. I think that's really cool. So now for the letters, and some of the letters, I put the foam on the side, but then like on this one, if they're overhanging the frame, they don't need foam, they just needed glue. I will say these were a little wonky, a little more wonky than I wanted them to be, but Tawanda, so whatever. All right, these are the supplies I use for my second card, all retired. So sorry, except for this one. You can get this supply. This is a printable from My Porch Prints, one of my favorite Etsy shops for digital printables, and this is the bee clutch. So cool. I've made it on my channel before. I'll go back and find that video for you guys, and I'll link it above, and you can check it out if you want. But it's such a cool project and printable. And so here I've now got a stitched background, and I'm going to start working on this card. So this card is inspired by the Bee Charmer. We all know who she is. And so, yeah, this is my Bee Charmer card. I wanted to go crazy and make like 5 cards based on fried green tomatoes, but I didn't have time for that. With this series, I'm definitely making more detailed cards. So if you saw my Harry Potter card, then you'll know I'm totally going like with the labor of love for these cards and going all out. So I didn't have time to make 5 really detailed cards, but I pulled off 2 for you guys. But I really wanted to make one that said the secret's in the sauce. And, I just kept coming. I wanted a whistle stop one, and I wanted one with green tomatoes on it. So I had 5 ideas. I just didn't have time. So here I am using my Tim Holtz, um, oh, what does he call this stuff? Is it an embossing glaze? I think it is. I love it. Look how shiny this stuff is. So amazing. And this is vintage photo. Distress glaze. Yeah, amazing. I did go in and add a little more distress because why not? More vintage photo. And I really love the way this panel turned out. So this was supposed to be little ephemera pieces. But then once I embossed it, I was like, oh, I'm not cutting this. This is going to be a panel on the card somewhere. So it ends up being a panel for the inside of my card. And I have no regrets. I absolutely love it. And I love how it goes with this paper here. These are a couple of stamped and colored images that I had in my stamp set, my Fun Stamper's Journey stamp set that I used. And they were already done. I just had to fussy cut them. I love it when I do that. You guys, if you have extra stamped images, put them back with your stamp set. Then the next time you think of that stamp set, you'll go there like me and be like pleasantly surprised. You already have something stamped or maybe stamped and colored. It's just really nice. So I did want some honeycomb ephemera, so I went ahead and stamped some out. I think this was with fossilized amber. I'm going to fussy cut these. And then another thing that I did for this card is with that My Porch Prints printable, I cut out some ephemera, which you'll see in a minute. But I finally am using this gorgeous kit of wax seals. So I bought this months ago, you guys, and I put it in this beautiful box I already had in my craft room and never have used it until now. So I'm going to use this wax seal. This was a kit I bought on Amazon. I want to say this one was a little bit of an investment because I wanted all the things. Like I wanted that pedal that holds my spoon. I wanted this part as well. Like I wanted a nice user-friendly kit, also one that would be like safe for my craft room. Like I'm a paper crafter. There's paper everywhere. I can't just have candles lit at random in here. All right, so I picked blue. If you guys didn't know, yellow is my favorite color, but lately I've really been loving the country blue and yellow combination, so that's what I was going for. And here's the ephemera that I used from that printable, and I scrunched it up. So I printed this on 20-pound copy-weight paper, nothing special. The background is printed on 80-pound cardstock. So, that's a great thing about digitals is you can get any weight you want, obviously. So I didn't want to overcook my wax. I'm going to have to, being that this is my first time using it, I don't know about timing, but it worked out. Definitely, what I did learn is that 2 little cubes wasn't enough. I would definitely do 3 cubes next time because I want my wax seal to be fat. Fat, not flat. So I'm going to do 3 next time. I'm just layering up my honeycomb layers here. This is also a piece of ephemera from that kit from My Porch Prints. I'll try to remember and just link this kit below because it's special. If you like bees, I think you like this kit. And it's a couple of dollars. Anyways, maybe if you like bees, you already have some bee stuff in your stash. If you want to make a bee charmer card, I'm sending this to one of my BFFs. She is a bee charmer and amazing and very special to me. Has been in my life for almost 22 years. So I'm going to send this to her. I decided to use up that wax and I made myself like 3 little enamel dots out of it. That was really cool and fun. Now I like to leave my thread long. Like if I'm going to stitch, I want threads hanging down. I don't know, it's just my deal. But I decided to color up this little bee die cut that I had made with that Stampin' Up! Kit. And I'm going to use it like a charm to hold those threads in place. So I wrapped the ones from the back, the bobbin thread. I just pulled it over to the front of the card. So now I have like 4 threads hanging out. I'm also going to use this gold pen on the seals. So see, I'm flipping this just over here because I want everything to show. And now I'm going to glue down this little die cut. And it's going to be like a little bee charm up there. I really like it. I was kind of wishing I had done more with this card, and then I went back to edit my footage and I was like, this card is awesome. Don't be so hard on yourself, Bitty Penny. So I ended up really liking it once it all came together. I'm going to add these 2 little bees up here. It would be a lonely honeycomb without a couple of bees buzzing around. And now I have a few of these other pieces that I'm going to deal with the inside. So I definitely had to use this panel, and I refilled this little glue dots dispenser. I realized I was cleaning out some stuff in my craft room, and I realized I had a couple left, so I went ahead and put it in there. And now I'm just playing around with these leftover pieces. Might as well use it all, right? Speaking of cleaning my craft room, I need to. There's hardly walking space. This happens to me too often. If you guys want to see a clean with me video, like a crafty clean with me video, let me know. I'm thinking about recording one for you, and maybe that'll be the motivation I need. I mean, just being able to walk in the room is a lot of motivation, but let me know if you'd like to see it. Okay, when I die cut the bees, I went ahead and die cut like 7 of them or something because I just wanted to make sure I had plenty of them. I love these fat little bees from the Stampin' Up! Die set. This is from a couple of years ago. And it's a set I'll never get rid of. It has dragonflies and bees and maybe a butterfly in there. But I love dragonflies so much and bees. And it was a really cool set. So I use it frequently. And I'm just smattering these white die cuts all around. That's pretty much it, you guys. Here are my 2 cards. I really like them. You see, the letters are wonky. I can admit it. It's true. But it's okay. If I had to do it over, I might make that better. But this is supposed to, mimic her room as well. Just the flowers all over the walls. Really like this card. I think this is my favorite though. I love this card. Probably because I love the bees. And I got to finally use my wax seal. See how the edges aren't super fat? Yeah, I should have used 3 beads, but hey, you don't know until you play, right? And here's the inside. So wonderful. I hope you guys enjoyed this. There will definitely be more to come. I'm thinking about sharing some on my Instagram, some here, but thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.